Alright folks, so this is the deck I was playing for the Glasgow Regionals a few weeks back now. I was playing Ghosts from BT20 because I was super excited about the deck and the archetype. I built it and played around with it for a few weeks, and this was the version I landed on for going to Regionals. So we start off with our eggs, Demi-Meramons. This is the egg, this is the ghost egg. On deletion, you return a Digimon card with the ghost trait from your trash to your hand, and you are going to be relying on this a lot to get back your Necromon and get back any other pieces from trash that end up there, just so that you don't have to be constantly searching throughout your deck for new copies of them. You can just add back the copy you already used with like execute and such. Moving on, we have our rookies. Our main rookie of the deck is Ghostmon. This is one of the only ghost trait rookies in the game. You also had Candlemon that came out the same set, but it's not as good because it doesn't have this handy little thing that says on deletion gain a memory. That is honestly the best thing on this card. It's also a Liberator Searcher. It searches a ghost and a Liberator card from amongst the top three, which can be super helpful finding you what you need. But yeah, no, this is a base level thing for building up your stack. That inheritable is absolutely amazing, and we just want to capitalize on as many of these as possible. So the new Ghostmon, whenever it comes out in BT21, that's also going to be really handy because it's obviously a cost reduction and has the same inheritable, which is the important part, which I'm really happy about. Moving on to other rookies, we've got 2 BT14 Gazimon, and we also have 4 BT3 Sukaimons. Now, these are exactly the same card. These are the same card. I know they look different, I know they have different names, they're the same card. They have on deletion gain a memory inheritables, they're 2k DP, they're both the exact same traits. This one is just easier to find. Luckily, I had a playset that I gave Lumi a while back, so I just borrowed this straight up, and then I found these in my collection. You can play any combination of these whatsoever. You just play them for the on deletion gain of memories. You can play 3 and 3, whatever you want. Whenever the new Ghostmon comes out, I'm probably just going to give Lumi his playset of Sukai's back, and just keep the Gazis in, just because I prefer the artwork. Just play the artwork you prefer. That's basically it. Like I say, you just capitalize on the on deletion, gain 1 memory as much as possible.
Make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, that way you never miss a thing.
And then that's the level 3s. So moving on to level 4s, we have 4 Bakeimon from BT20. So once again, the most important part of this card is the inheritable, on deletion gain a memory. Don't want to run it home too hard, but that is what we care about the most. The effect when digivolving is pretty decent. You play a Violet in Boots if you have 1 or fewer Tamers without paying cost, but quite honestly, in this build it doesn't come up that often. I wish it came up more, but yeah, I would really like a second one of these to come out to have a better effect. But right now we played this, and it is the most important level 4 in the deck, for a very important reason that I'll show later on. But in terms of, it's a very important piece in the combo, but in itself it is not anything groundbreaking, it's nothing huge, but it's a very good card. Yeah. Then we have 2 BT15 Bakeimons. These are decent. They're draw 1, trash 1 on Digivolve and on deletion. So they are more card draw, they're more cycling through your deck, which is really good. A lot of time what you can do is you can go into these on a given turn, go draw 1, trash 1, and then swing, and because it's a 3k body, it'll hopefully die, and then you'll get another draw 1, trash 1, and you'll be able to cycle through pretty quickly. It has a retail inheritable, which can be useful sometimes, trying to swing into your opponent's board what their bodies are, and try to get rid of them that way if you can't delete them in other ways. But honestly, if we get another level 4 that has on deletion gain of memory inheritable, we just swap it for that, because that will be what's important. So 2 Bakemons. And then to round out the level 4s, we've got 2 Soulmons, which came out in BT20 as well. These on play when digivolving gain retaliation, or give one of your Digimon retaliation till the end of your opponent's turn. So you can like give it to a different body on the board. And then the inheritable is by trashing a card in hand, delete an opponent's level 4 lower Digimon. So it can remove floodgates, which can be really, really useful. Like if your opponent has a floodgate that says you can't play Digimon by FX, and if you have this in your first stack, that can get rid of that floodgate, and then you can recur your pieces back on the board and not have to worry, which is really, really good. But again, if we just had 8 Bakemons that said on deletion gain of memory, I would be a very, very happy person in the universe. But this is played in the meantime, and this is always a good option in future, just to have that removal on lower levels easier. Then moving on to level 5s, we have Phantomon. This is where the deck really starts coming together, because this is the first card that has the execute keyword. Execute allows you to attack at the end of turn, and then at the end of that attack you delete your stack, and you're allowed to attack any target essentially. You're allowed to attack the normal targets of security and suspended Digimon, but you're also allowed to attack your opponent's unsuspended Digimon, which is where things like retail can come into play and stuff like that. Then the other effect this has is both as its main effect and its inheritable. It plays a level 4 lower Digimon with the ghost trait from trash without paying cost, which is of course both of those effects is on deletion. So of course when you trigger execute on the Phanto and you trigger execute on the Necro with this underneath, you're getting more bodies to the board, you're recurring your bodies back, and this is where the deck really comes into its stride, because usually what you'll do is you'll build up to this in the back as quick as possible. Then you'll raise it, you'll pass turn, you'll execute, you'll gain memory back to keep turn, and then you'll be able to play back a circular stuff, and then from your turns after that you'll be able to just win. Because of the way this is focused, it is just a speed. Speed is the name of the game, and you're just trying to swing through as much of your opponent's security as possible, as quickly as possible. So if you're able to get all the pieces to hand and get them in the right order, you'll basically be able to win and take games in OTK very surprisingly quickly, and really take your opponent by surprise. But yeah. So the only other level 5 we play, we don't play the Metal Phantomon from BT20, I scrapped that, and I have fully focused on Chimeramons. This is the secondary level 5 of Ghosts. This is incredible, because this is what allows you to do your OTK plays, and just be able to rush down your opponent out of nowhere, and it doesn't matter what your opponent has really sometimes, you're just able to keep recurring bodies to the board. So, like I said, the Phantomon has the undulation to play a level 4 lower from trash inherit, and the Necromon plays a level 5 or lower. So what you're wanting is you're wanting 2 Bakemons in trash, so that your first Necro stack can die, spawn back a Bake from the inheritable, a Bake from the Necro undulation, and then you can Chimera the 2 level 4s together. It'll become purple, you'll tuck the Phantomon to get the undulation back in your sources, and then you'll just go into another Necromon on top, and you can just keep doing that as long as you have Chimeras in hand. That's essentially the point. As long as you have another Chimera to go into, you can just keep doing that that loop again and again, that Chimera loop, because you can keep tucking the Phantomon source. It's always going to be in trash because it'll die with Execute. And as long as you have Chimeras, as long as you have Necros, and you're constantly digivolving, like you're getting 2 digivolves off this, Chimera and then into Necro to do the Execute. That's what you're really caring about. You're going to get the cards to hand, which is why the on-deletion inheritables to gain a memory is so important, because it helps you keep turn and keep reigniting Execute again and again. And then that finishes level 5s, and we just have the 4 Necromons as our level 6s. This is the last of our Digimon. Like I say, we are fully focused on trying to OTK, on trying to do that Chimera Loop combo. It was working out very well for me in practice, and it did take a lot of my opponents by surprise. I kind of messed up a few of my games, so it didn't work out for me very well at the regionals, but that was due to just some mistakes on my part. The deck's combo was actually working pretty well for most of the games. But yeah, so Necromon, this is the big boy of the deck. It has Sec +1 and Execute, so it means you can do 2 checks at the end of your turn, and with the Chimeramon combo you can get through your opponent's security really quickly. Its on play when digivolving is delete one of your opponent's Digimon at the lowest level. So if you're going into this like 2 or 3 times, if they have like a lot of bodies on board, you're clearing them out. If they don't, then that's even better. Like you can do it in just the 1 Necromon. And then the second effect is on play on deletion to play a level 5 or lower with the Ghost Trade, which is how you do the loop. Yeah, the Phantos spawns back a Bake, and then the Necro also spawns back a Bake. And then you just DNA, like I say. But yeah, so Necromon, incredible card. Genuinely, if they ever give us a second one, the deck is going to honestly be really good. We just need more Execute and our keyworded stuff, and we need more Ghost Traded stuff, and then the deck becomes incredible, I think. That's the last of our Digimon, so we're going to move on to the Tamers now. And we've got 2 Violet in boots from BT20 to start us off. So I was playing this at more. I was playing this at like a 3 or a 4 of to start with, and then I just had to find more room for like option cards and more room to just refine the combo down to what I wanted it to be. So I had to just keep cutting Violet down to 2. Violet is very good. Don't get me wrong, I love her. She gains you a memory at the start of main if your opponent has a Digimon, that lovely effect. And whenever any of your Ghost Trait Digimon die, or are deleted on your turn, you can suspend her to digivolve one of your Digimon into a Ghost Trait Digimon in the hand, with the cost reduced by 2. So what you can do is you combine her with the egg and the on-deletion supply bodies to basically trigger her to digivolve your freshly spawned body into basically a recurred piece from the trash. That's basically what she's there for. And she's very good at that. But I had to cut her down to 2 just to just for space reasons. Like, you don't always need her since you're focusing on the Chimera combo. But if you don't want to focus on that Chimera combo, if you want to play a bit more normal ghost stuff with like Metal Phantos and things like that, you'd probably run her at a 3 or a 4 of. But I've cut her down to 2. Yeah. And then you've got the real purple tamer of the game. The best purple tamer that's not purple, Analog Youth. Again, this is a very vital piece in the combo because this helps you with memory get back whenever your stack dies. Because this doesn't care how your level 5 or higher dies, it just cares that it does. So the Execute will trigger this, you'll tap to gain a memory and hatch an egg, and then you can digivolve in the back again and get a new line that way. And then obviously the search from Analog Youth is incredible. I don't need to explain this card. This card's amazing. Everyone knows it is. There's still people out there that call for it to be like limited or anything. I don't think they ever will, but it's a 2 cost top 3 search, and then You get 2 pieces in trash, you get 1 in hand. It's really, really good. Then I'm playing a 1 of Louis. This is simply really, really good paired with the Analog Youth Hatch, because what I like to do is then go into a rookie in the back, and then if I'm able to get the memory to like 2, and I don't have more chimeras to go off, I don't have the option card, say, I can just go Louis for 3, and it's really a 2 cost because I raise the rookie and tap, and then I have that rookie that's digivolved, I can just swing that way. Standard like hybrid sort of plays there, which is, yeah, no, he's very good. And then like if he's down early as well in the game, like if he's hitting security, he's a memory every time I raise, like he's a free memory, so it helps that way as well. And this was actually a suggestion from Lumi actually, and I'm very happy I took that suggestion. This is a great card in this deck. It helped win games, and it helped secure memory in practices. Yeah, this is a great guy. And then this is where we get to a bit of an issue with the deck profile here, because when we were doing Glasgow, it was pre-ban list, so I was running a 1 of map. This guy is obviously banned now. You can't play any copies of him. So I'm still trying to work out what I want to replace him as. I'd probably go with a Lament from the SD16, just as extra recursion, or maybe just an extra memory boost. You know, you could really go any way you want with this. It's not that big a deal. I was only running as a 1 of, as a memory setter, and as a recursion piece. It's not like a purple hybrid situation where they're running 4 and now they, well, they're screwed. But yeah, no, this, I was putting this together today in order, and I just came across this and I was like, I forgot he was there. Because he rarely ever comes up, honestly. This could be a lot of different things, and but during regionals, he was himself, and he did not come up once, I think. I don't think he came up at all. But yeah. Moving on to option cards, we have 2 Apparition Legion. This card is great for rushing your opponent down for game. This is just an extra way of getting your hits in to kill your opponent and hit for game. There is an issue with this card, so it returns total levels of 9 from your opponent's trash, and then you can play out Ghost Trait Digimon from your trash that are equal to the levels you bottom deck. So you have to bottom deck a total of 9 from their trash, so you can do 3 3s, a 4 and a 5, or a 3 and a 6. So for example, if you do a 3 and a 6 from their trash, you have to play out a 3 and 6 from your trash. Or you can just play out a 6 or just a 3, but it has to be total from theirs, but it doesn't from yours. And then those bodies that you play back gain Rush and Blocker, which the main thing that's good about that is if you do a combination of 9 from their trash that does a 6 or does a 5, you can spawn back an Execute body, and then it'll gain Rush and it'll be able to execute, and that's how you get wins. That's how you win. But you're also able to spawn like a bunch of blockers back if you need it to be more defensive. And then its security effect is play a level 5 or lower with the Ghost Trait from trash. So a lot of time you're just spawning back a Ghostmon and searching. You basically treat it as like an extra training, you know, or an extra scramble. Just like play a Ghostmon, search more, keep searching, keep going through, recur as much as you want. But yeah, no, I mean, there is an issue with this card in current format, and that issue is called Royal Knights. Royal Knights. Some lists do play 3s. They play like Floodgates, like Gotsumon or Goblimon or whatever. It's a red one, I think. I know the winning list of Glasgow played it. But most Royal Knights decks don't play 3s and they don't play 5s. So you cannot make 9. So if you go up against a Royal Knights player and they're not playing the Floodgates, this card is dead. This card is dead unless it's in security. But apart from that, it's a really good card. Like, it relies on your opponent having the things in trash, but if they've built up a stack that you've deleted with your Necromon, then more than likely they're going to have those levels in trash because you've put them there. So as long as nothing's gone wrong in that way, or unless they're bricking, like if they, this is really funny, and it's an option card where like if your opponent bricks, it kind of screws you over. But it's still a good card, and you still run it as 2 of, just to, because when it does come up, it is a win. It is just an auto win card. This is just, you play it, and you show that you can spawn back bodies with Rush, and your opponent just goes, yep, next game. Or they, like, it's just an auto win card. But yeah. And it's Liberator traded as well, so it's searchable. Then we've got 1 copy of Vortex Res. Again, this could be bumped up to 2 with that Matt leaving. This is to help Digivolve into Necromon for cheap. There's a lot of these option cards you're going to see is just to get into your Necromons for as cheap as possible, so you don't have to have that much memory gain back to keep turn. So this makes Necromon a 3 cost Digivolve. There's those scrambles in here, they make Necromon a 3 cost Digivolve. Trainings make it a 2 cost. Memory boost gain you to, like, all the options from here on out are basically just to make Digivolving as cheap as possible, so that you're still passing turn, but not giving your opponent that much memory on their side, so that you can still keep turn. On top of that, this is obviously a search card. You can add your Tamer, you can add anything in the Necromon line, because it searches for Liberator, and if it's in security, it adds itself to hand, and it also plays out a Liberator card, play cost 4 lower, from hand or trash. So you can play out a Violet from trash if it's ended up there, if it's been trashed or deleted. You can play a Ghostmon, you can play even a Backgammon, because it's play cost 4 lower. So it can help you set up for the Chimera DNA a lot easier as well. And because it's part purple, it is searchable by trainings, which is also really, really nice. So this could be bumped up to a 2 of with taking the mat out, or I don't know, memory boost or whatever. But I ran it as a 1 of. And then we're just getting into staples. I ran 4 scrambles, again, just to make Necromon as cheap as possible. So this meant Necromons were always a 3 cost, and a lot of the time the combo just revolved going scramble into Necromon, scramble into Necromon, scramble into Necromon, over and over again. If they're hitting security, they add to hand, they play a 2k body from trash, which is almost always a Ghostmon is the only good target, because it searches, the rest don't do anything on play. And then Scramble does the whole put the card to the top, and then play out a 2k body at the start of turn as well, which is also really, really good. I ran as a 4 of just for the Digivolution cost thing, just to reduce as much as possible. 3 trainings. They search everything. They search everything that isn't white. And they make Necromon a 2 cost. That's why I have them. They make Necromon a 2 cost. 2 memory boosts. Search deeper than trainings. Search for the Digimon specifically. Sometimes it's nice to have the memory gain rather than the reduced cost, because you might need to play a Tamer, you might need to play a Scramble or something, or you might need to play something else, rather than straight up just Digivolve. So that's quite nice as well. But again, they're just purple memory boosts. And then the last card in the deck is a 1 of Calling, because sometimes you need to add back extra stuff from trash that your egg can't get you, or sometimes you really, really need your Necromon to die, and you can't afford to use Execute. Sometimes you don't want to use it. Calling is at 1 for a reason, and yeah, it's a good 1 to have. But that's the deck list, guys. Thank you very much.